Hello and welcome back.
If you didn't know, I've been on an adventure straight looking for the best coffee fragrance. So far, I haven't found it, but guess what? Today, I think I have found it, and that is Follow by Kerosene. Look at the bottle. It literally smells like coffee. No playing around today. We're getting right in some sprays. I'm gonna do 3 solid ones because that's what I like to do. Here we go. Whew. Smells amazing. All right, right off the top, immediately, you get hit with this like realistic, and I mean super realistic, dark roasted coffee beans. A nice full-bodied dark roasted coffee. Picture that. You're brewing your cup of coffee. It's almost black coffee, but there's a little hint of vanilla in here that keeps that bitterness from being too bitter.
The notes of followed are roasted coffee beans, vanilla, maple sap, tonka bean, amber, and benzoin.
It's almost mind-boggling how realistic this stuff smells. There's also something else in the opening that I wasn't expecting from this fragrance, and it's like a charred, smoky wood type smell. Like, almost like if you set a little bit of wood on fire and like if it's charring, that smoke that's in here. So you get that fresh roasted dark coffee. It's a little bit bitter. It's almost black coffee, but not quite, because there is vanilla that you pick up. There's a little bit of vanilla in here that's keeping it from being too sour, too sharp, too acrid smelling. I think it's balanced fantastically. Like right off rip, let's just talk about the opening first. I have a lot to say about the dry down because the dry down is fantastic. But the opening alone, 10 out of 10. If you're looking for a coffee fragrance, you know what? I'll say 9 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10, but I'll say 9 out of 10 just in case you're that person that wants it a little bit sweeter, because there is some bitterness in here, but it's not too bitter. I gotta do another spray. Like, let's do one more. I just missed the arm there. Oh my God. I got Charles right in the face. Charles, no, stop crying. We have to talk about the dry. Look at this bottle. I can spank this bottle, bruh. Let's keep this PG in here, all right? The dry down on this fragrance is the best part. So when you have an opening that's already a 9 or a 10 out of 10, and you have a dry down that's a 10 out of 10, you know what? I can't even put this into words. The opening is amazing. The dry down's better. So the dry down is like an 11 out of 10. I don't know. I wasn't expecting this. I know this fragrance has been hyped up for coffee fragrances. I'm not gonna lie. I've been sleeping on the whole brand Kerosene. I have been, but I was not expecting this. I wasn't expecting the opening to be so good. Exactly what I was looking for. And I wasn't expecting the dry down to pivot and change so much that it's even better. This goes from a coffee fragrance right into a full-on like gourmand breakfast maple fragrance. It completely changes, it really does. A maple note, a maple syrup note appears in this fragrance. The coffee's always there, but it tones down a little bit and this beautiful maple note comes out, and it smells exactly like waffles. It smells like maple waffles. It gets a little spicy. There's some cinnamon in here. The vanilla comes out. Amber notes come out. Did you hear me? The amber notes come out. This is fantastic. You know what I'm actually really getting in here? I get vanilla, but I get tonka bean even more. So the tonka bean in this comes out. Some of the spices show up. Like I said, a little bit of cinnamon, but it's just so good. And you know what though? That charred smoky note in the opening, I was a fan of. But that kind of dissipated. I don't get that charred smokiness anymore, but I do get musk. There is like some musky notes, and I don't know the molecules, but there's musky notes in this fragrance that show up. And it just absolutely works.
I love my coffee like I like my women. Hot, steaming, and
it's not like a bright, fresh musk. It's like a woody musk. A woody musk, maple ambers and vanilla, and the coffee kind of chills a little bit. So good. You know what? I cannot lie. And I'm not trying to hype this up. I love this fragrance so much. Right now, out of all the coffee fragrances I've tried, I've done a few other reviews. If you haven't seen them, I'll post them up there. But this one so far is my number one. This is my number one coffee fragrance that I've tried. And I'm sure there's some good ones on the market. I'm sure there might even be better ones on the market. I even know Kerosene made a follow-up to this called Followed. This is Follow, but he made Followed. And I haven't smelled that yet, but I'm gonna check that out but I think that pushes it even more. I heard it's more beast mode, more mapley, more gourmand. I want coffee though, and I have it right here. If you wanna get some samples of this, check the links below. I'm gonna link it up to my website, the fragrance channel Decants. I'll ship it right to you. Let me know if you want some. As far as like when you can wear this clearly thrives in the cooler months, right? I mean, this is a warm, ambery, vanilla coffee fragrance. So cooler mornings in the fall, in the winter, this is absolutely gonna dominate. But I mean, if you like coffee like I do, I think you can wear this all year round. This is definitely versatile enough, bruh. I don't know, it's just such an interesting fragrance. Like the coffee that turns into maple, the maple note threw me off just a little bit. I think this could easily be a signature fragrance for somebody. I really could picture this being like a signature. If you like coffee, I mean, most people like the smell of coffee. Who doesn't like the smell of coffee? Just get out then. You don't like it, turn the video off. And the projection and longevity is really good. I wouldn't say it's beast mode. It's not quite insane, but it's really great. It's a strong fragrance. 4 to 6 feet away, people are gonna smell you for sure. And the longevity of this, I mean, I think on skin, it lasted 10 plus hours. I mean, that means it did get a little bit faint, turn into a skin scent at the 10-hour mark, which you'd probably expect, but it definitely lasted that long. I've even sprayed this a few times, and after a shower, you could still pick it up. You could smell it fizzing in your nose, scalding your brain still on skin. On clothes, it's gonna be even longer. It gets even better, and for this is a niche fragrance, a niche quality. This is amazing. What gets better is the price of this. Yes, it's still a little expensive, but for the quality of this fragrance that you're getting, for the skill that went into this, it's really good. This is an 100 ml, a 100 ml, 3.4 ounces for about $152. That is absolutely amazing. Now let's compare that a little bit here. Let's compare it. Let's talk about designer fragrances. Let's talk about Louis Vuitton bottles that are 100 ml that are $400. Let's even jump to Tom Ford with their new inflated prices for 50 mls for like $400. None of the projection and longevity can match this. Those fragrances are weak and it's sad, and yes, I love them, but it's upsetting me. This for the price is absolutely a steal. It really is. Like I said, check some samples out. If you don't want to commit that full $150, Susan, if you don't want to commit that money, check some samples out first. I'm laughing because Susan's really there. That's what was funny about it. It wasn't made up. I gotta hit one more spray, and I'm gonna do a loop-de-doop-de. And you know what, when it's all said and done, there's honestly a nostalgic factor to this fragrance, and that's one of my favorite things about fragrances, is the nostalgic imagery and factors that it triggers, right? So what does this one remind me of? This is like when you were little, driving to a cabin, right? On a vacation with your family. We call it up north, we drive up north. So this is like a rustic cabin. I'm like 8 or 9 years old, laying in bed. I wake up to the smell of my parents making breakfast. That's what this reminds me of. If you're familiar with that smell, that's what the smells like. Like, you know, your dad's brewing coffee, your mom's making pancakes or waffles. This just encapsulates, is that a real word, encapsulates? This is that vibe in a bottle, and I just love it so much. This is a comforting fragrance to me personally. You know, you might not get compliments per se, but you're definitely gonna get reactions. People will say, what is that smell? That smells like maple breakfast or coffee. So if you want attention, this is a good one. If you don't, then wear this for you. Wear this before you go to bed, wear it in the morning. It'll invigorate you if you like that smell of coffee notes. This is a very tough one to beat, I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, currently this is my top coffee fragrance. And if you're familiar with the house, I haven't smelled too much else by them. I did have a couple samples, but I didn't really dive into them. Let me know your favorite. Let me know if you have a favorite fragrance by Kerosene. Do you? Do you, Susan? And if you have any recommendations, comment them down below, because I'll definitely check them out. I will buy them and do my review, because that's what I like to do. This is Ryan signing off for the Fragrance Channel. Thanks for dropping by, bruh. Those are spirit fingers. If you don't like it, what do you do? Fight me over it?